like trying to make the like big clusters and then putting the lighter tones in the center. To hopefully just kind of blend out, create that like glow from within feel. I don't know what this color looks like. I'm curious. I haven't used it yet. Oh, it's kind of silvery. Do you think maybe want almost like a white color? Smack the crap out of that. Whoops. Sorry. There you go. There you go. White steel. I'm trying to use up the last little bit of this one, so maybe we'll use a little bit of that. I want this like lighter blue to be the main color, whereas yesterday I wanted this like cobalt blue to be the main one. So I'm just gonna try and use this on like the outskirts of all the blue sections, just to give more depth. you so freaking much for the raid. How are you doing today? How was your stream? What were you doing? I didn't even see you were live earlier. I blame my being flustered and all over the place today. How are you? Thank you, Mina, for doing the shout out. Guys, Popsky is, well, I mean, I don't actually always know what he streams because it seems to change around. But an absolutely insanely talented musician. Our Sub Bomb song is actually made by him, so please check him out. Especially if you're looking for some music for your own streams. Not only for commissioning, if you want one-of-a-kind stuff, but also all of Popsky's music is safe to play on stream. So for one of those people who's struggling finding good music with no consequences. I've been streaming the last like 3 days, got another one tomorrow. Oh, nice! Is it for something specific or just enjoying it? Just going all in. You vibe in and looking at upcoming games. Oh, nice! I love that. Green's gotta get out of here. We are just working on some galaxy paintings. We did this one yesterday. And so this is our new one for the day. Hopefully gonna turn out good. They're inspired by the pride flags. So right now we're working on Pan. Lots of cool stuff coming this year and next. You know what, I'm so like that person who's so sadly uninformed, but then it is kind of a nice surprise when really cool games come out. It's like, what? Everyone else, yeah, we knew about this forever. Thanks! Yeah, I love the, like, pearlescent colors. They have this, like, glow to them. And these paintings have been a little bit more friendly on my back lately, so that's kind of why I've been going all in. We did a Digimon series recently. That we just finished. They are actually hanging up beside me. It's the same idea with the black watercolors, but I did them all with the different Digivices from like the original season of the different crests. And so that kind of was its own like rainbow series. We had like purple. And we got a green one. So these ones are not going to have an overlay, like an overlay painting like these ones do. They're just going to be the galaxies, but these ones had they were the intention of having the different crests and match their colors and stuff. We got this one I love because it like looks like lightning, especially over here. There you go. Our Karis. Ties. Orange was tricky. I had to redo orange because I almost like it kind of got stuck being either like yellow or red, and I was like, I really need it in the middle, thanks. And then here's our red one. So yeah, this was our like Digimon series that we just completed. So now we're doing the flag series. Dude, the goal, I was so surprised. When I was going into the series, I literally thought, I'm like, dude, yellow and gray are gonna be the worst ones. Like just on like the black watercolor and stuff, I'm like, they're gonna look terrible. Two of my favorites by far. Like the gray one was sick because all the silver paints I had became like almost like iridescent and ghostly, and then yeah, the yellow one turned out like really, really cool. It was a very pleasant surprise because I thought they were gonna be real rough. It was actually orange that was the hardest. It was the one I had to redo. I was like, fine, don't cooperate with me. Cool. Be that way. Are they UV reactive? No, so they're not UV reactive, sadly. I do want to try. There is, like, you can get neon watercolors that they show, like, activate under black light. So I'd be really interested to try them in the future to see if, like, because I don't know on black. Like, definitely on white paper they show up as, like, a UV reactive. I'd be intrigued to incorporate them into the Galaxy paints and see how they do. But sadly, these ones don't. They just kind of, but I like it because they at least kind of look like they glow in person because of that, like, metallic reflect they have. So they get a little bit of that, like, glowy effect. Hi, Ang. How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, no worries. How have you been? Probably won't show up for the first little bit. But the paints that are down here and here right now are like a mix of the regular watercolors and gouache paints. So they actually, like, they kind of disappear as it dries. You can see them right now because everything's wet. But it's really only the pearl colors that stand out once dry. So even though this is blending in, doesn't look like anything's happening, it will make more sense in the final form. I have UV reactive pigments. Maybe I should try making watercolors with them. You can make your own, like, I mean, like, not, I know anyone can, but, like, you can make your own watercolors, Mina? Oh yeah, you learned that in school, didn't you? So cool. Yo, please make UV paints. And then show me how cool they look. I want to see. These ones I don't want to blend as much. I blend a lot with the last one, but it's just because I want these ones to stay separate. Because I am going to have to, obviously we're going to do the rainbow flag at some point, so I don't want this one to actually accidentally, like, become the rainbow flag, you know? So this one I have to be a little bit more specific with. Not too long. I wanted to go live at the usual time today, but just a bunch of errands got in the way. I already knew how to make them before school. It just wasn't until school that I had access to the wide array of pigments. I feel like all I know from what I've seen of, like, watercolor makers is, like, a pigment and some kind of oil. That's about it. That's all I know. And then you just you mix them together and then use the really, like, big glass thing and just kind of rub it around. That's all I got. It's equivalent to saying, like, I've seen how swords get made. Obviously I could make one. It's gum Arabic, not oil. Oh, okay, that's the binder. Oh, okay, okay. I just assumed it was type of oil. I've also made oil paints. Well, greatest of us all, Mina. Greatest of us all. Try and incorporate a bit of gold, but I do want it to stay yellow, so I gotta be careful here. Gotta find a nice in between. Thanks, Twitchy. How are you doing today? Oh, that one's by me. We did that during the birthday stream. And then the one that's hiding... Oh, the one that we did during... So we did this one kind of just from scratch during the birthday stream. And then during the anniversary stream, I did another canvas piece. I did a Bob Ross follow-along for that one. For that one, we did this guy. Those were kind of my my fun little adventure streams. I made like 2 oil paints when I wanted a break from watercolors. I love it. I'm good. Is this oil paint? I've just started tying and I'm bad at painting. No, so this is, these are mostly watercolor. A little bit of gouache in here, but mostly just watercolors. The difference being the ones over here are like regular watercolors. They're the Winsor Newton Cotman ones. And then the ones that you're seeing in these pans are, they're called Pearl Colors. They're by Caliro. And so they have like a shine to them. Like they're the ones that kind of reflect when it dries. And then the ones that aren't flashing essentially are like the regular watercolor and gouache paints. That's why I'm working like super wet on wet. So I have to work when it's like the paper is well hydrated. So I can kind of get the blends. Which I ended up with 2 oil paints and almost 90 watercolors. Clearly didn't want a lot of breaks. Dude, I feel like if you had 90 watercolors, like you will never have to buy watercolors again. Set for life. I don't know anything about painting. I'm impressed. Let's go. Oh, thank you. Admittedly, I'm not very well versed in like the technicalities of painting. Painting is more of just one that I picked up for fun. Whereas like when I was in school, I was trying to learn more about like specifically like graphite and pencil work. So my knowledge is a little not up to par as where I would like it. But a lot of it you do learn as you go, you know. You just pick it up and do it and then see. Like I only just recently through talking to people in and Twitch is when I started discovering new products. Like I had never even heard of gouache paints. And I've done schooling. I never even heard of them until Twitch, and I was like, man, I am uninformed. Should be more informed. There is no reference for this one. No, I'm just making this one up as I go. Hank. I'm doing the Galaxy series based on the Pride flag, so this one is inspired by Pan Pride. So I'm just kind of making it up. Seeing where it takes us. I wish I knew anything. Oh, sorry, I already read this. Sorry. Just going back and forth. Alright, so we got the base down on blue and yellow. I'm going to try working in the pink section for a bit. So I kind of keep everything at hopefully the same moisture level with a little bit of water in a spray bottle. So I put down a gouache base behind this one, but I need to get like pink. So I'm gonna use more of this color for it. Hi, Jupiter. How are you doing? It's good to see you. How's your Saturday going so far? I should probably really art. I would be more productive than what I'm doing. I was doing laundry and cleaning my spare room, also giving a TV a neighbor, didn't want any more. Nice! That's fantastic. Running around in Genshin for like last 20 minutes hitting trees. I mean, does that get you stuff in the game? Because like, that's productivity on its own, right? I want to make sure they're a little bit more connected than they currently are. I don't want to blend them too much because I don't want to get other colors. But I do want them to not just be these harsh, like, switch-ups. See, there you go. It's important. I need to craft things for my teapot. Aw. God, I haven't bought a TV in so long. I kind of forgot that smart TVs are even the new norm. bedroom TV is a smart TV and it connects to the Wi-Fi. That's really cool that TVs can do that now. My last bedroom TV, half the screen was 10 shades darker. Oh, like it had like one of those, like where the LCD screen is kind of messed up. That's always so frustrating when it reaches that point because you're just like, can I put up with this? I mean, sometimes you have to, obviously. Not always on the table to get a new TV, but... Alright, I'm gonna help it dry and kind of see where it's at. What it's doing, what it's saying. Oh, cool, that froze again. That's fun. Good times. I was there for a month and couldn't take it any longer. Only so much you can put up with. this is what we're working with, which is good to know. There's just too many. There was too many puddles. I couldn't actually see what the what we were doing. Actually, pretty good. There's only a few areas that I want to add more behind, but that's like the normal colors, which is easy enough to do. The pearl colors are the ones that are kind of like the wild cards. Forgot I was gonna have sushi with a friend. Nice! Ah, love sushi. Great plans to have. There's like no reason for it, but this song always makes me think of like the moon in Destiny. Can't say why, other than I guess because it's haunted, but like always where my mind goes. $25, all you can eat. Ah, I love those places. Nice when you can go with friends though, because then you can get like, because like rolls, like people always want to try different rolls, and I want to try different rolls, but like some places I go to like 6 or 8 pieces for a roll. It's like, I'm sorry, if I have 2, I'm done basically. It's too filling. So if I go with friends, I can try a few other ones. We can all share. Especially if my friends are good eaters. I'm trying to kind of create these little like pockets of, hopefully to create more depth, because these won't have any shine to them. So if you can get them just to show up enough that they look like parts of the little clusters just further back, then it makes the images a lot more interesting. Whereas I find when it's just the pearl colors, even though they stand out the most, they look kind of flat on their own. Thank you, Jupiter. This color palette's a little tricky, not because the colors are bad at all. Like, I love the colors, but it's just because I don't want them to, like, with the other one, I was able to start pulling the mixes through a lot more. But I don't want these ones to do it, because then we'll end up with, like, red, oranges, and green, and it's gonna end up looking like the rainbow. It's not the goal, so I'm having to be a little bit more careful with how I lay down the colors on this one. see how that dries down. So we get some better detailing. I just heard a sound outside my headset and I jerked my head to the right so fast my neck cracked. Ugh! Did it like kink or are you okay? My kinked neck is like the worst feeling. Hurts a little. I hope it won't get worse. Oh, Mina. No injuring yourself. This is not the Saturday for it. This is safe and healthy Saturday. My neighbor still loves your artwork. Oh, won't stop asking me if you do commissions. Oh, that's so kind. I am trying to get them open. I took some on in May, but I haven't been able to get them completed because of they're graphite commissions. So I'm getting back to being able to do graphite, but those were the ones that I was like my back's been struggling with. So since I have some currently on, I don't want to take on more and then like tell them it's going to be like a few months before they're done. Seems like with my luck, it's kind of it shouldn't even surprise me that when the second I tried to open up commissions, something like big went down, and it was like no. Okay, cool. Thank you, universe. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. She wants a palm tree. Cool. I told her I don't do plants. Aww. Well, it's right up my alley. It really is. I just need to get the ones off my plate first. little bit better. Watching anime and a painting in the background reminds me of your work. Oh, cool. Post some Discord photos. Ooh, I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. Ha! Dude, it totally does. It's like the first one I ever did too. My Azure Lightning design is like exactly those like patterns. That's awesome. What anime is it? Just need some arcane symbols. See, you got it. Like we'll just put it in there and then we'll be like, cool. Anime has now started using my art. This is lovely. This can only go well. Love it. Love, love, love. Couple of cuckoos. Ooh, I haven't heard of that. Alright, I'm gonna get a chance for these ones to dry down just so I can do a quick little break. Take my food upstairs, and maybe make some tea, because I haven't had tea yet today with all the errands we were doing this morning. So, if you guys would like to do the same, if you want to do a quick little self-care break, get a drink of your choosing, if you want, or do a stretch or something, please feel free, and then, yeah, we'll get right back into it. Just a little self-care break. And, yeah. Un momento. Sorry, the water took longer than we thought. But tea has been acquired, and that's important. I put my tea warmer over here. All good. Excellent. Leon, hi, how are you? Stopping in briefly for a hello, no worries, while I log into my system and launch all of my diagnostic tools. Oh, is that like to make sure the computer's running properly before work? Mix up a triple shot of G Fuel. I'm exhausted today. What kind of G Fuel are you having? What flavor? I have a sneeze. Oh, sorry. At least I didn't lose the sneeze. That's the worst feeling. Okay, hair to the front. Hair to the front. Come on, get over here. Stop getting caught on stuff. There we go. Thank you, Mina. And Examen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Where are we at? I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Still not fully dry, so let's just help it out that last little bit. The caffeine equal to 3 cups of coffee in a single cup. I'm drinking raspberry lemonade. Oh, raspberry lemonade sounds good. I meant to buy more after we ran out of ours, and I just never did. I never got around to it. But I really liked blue raspberry. I mean, whatever flavor that is, the one that is blue raspberry, that one's really good. Raspberry lemonade, though, sounds good. No worries, Leo. No worries. You knew the sneeze was coming. Trying to fix this little puddle. Dry faster. There's like no music playing that I can hear, but I don't care. Alright. Good stuff. Okay, so, what are we thinking? What are we thinking? One's loud, but I kind of love that. I don't think these colors could be like, you know, subtle. Like, just perfect. I don't know if it needs more. I'm not sure. Customer diagnostics tools. I have my virtual phone and 14 different tools open at once. Oh, geez, that's a lot. But it looks good. So not sure, like, doesn't really need too much else. Like, this is where I always have to remind myself that the stars make a big difference, right? Like, when we add the stars in, like, they make a big difference to that composition, right? I'm just trying to figure out. The thing is, the stars have to be last, because if you, like, because I do them in gouache, if I go back over them, like, afterwards they'll reactivate and make white. So, like, I kind of have to make sure I'm always at, like, a good spot before I do it. I love this part. You know, when you find, like, little moments that you're just like, yes. I like that section a lot. I think maybe this part's lacking. You know? It's just, it needs like a little something something. What that something is, I don't know. But just something. Again, this is where I love OBS though. Just let me just sit back, have some tea with you guys, and assess what needs to be done. 21 tools. I have them all open, but 7 of them are required to run at all times. That's a lot. I feel like I would forget in certain ones. Like, I would not use them to the best of their ability. Of course, no worries, Leon. Have a good work day. I hope it goes well and fast and it's not a terrible time. See you guys at 2 a.m. You work till 2 a.m.? That's awful. Oh, man, I'm rooting for you for this new job, Leon. I really hope you get it, the one you've been referred for. Frozen! Hopefully don't spill the tea now. Luckily I did it, but I did. You know, it's interesting, this part of me jerked. I think like I have good instincts for the tea. My arm didn't really move. I'm getting the good instincts, like people who like protect the drink if they fall. The tea must be saved. Frozen, thank you. Thank you so much for the 666. Thank you, thank you. How are you doing today? How was your week? I can actually say that. We're at the end of the week for once. I don't usually stream that. That was close. Wait, what does SCNR mean? Super crazy neuro response. That's definitely not what it stands for. I think we need something along here for sure. Stay down. Stay down. There we go. I'm off work due to some trouble with my ankle. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It could be worse. At least I had time to play on the PS5, which I finally got. Nice! Is there a game you've been wanting to play? When you've been diving into? I always find it's kind of like, I remember, it was years ago now because I was living with my mom at the time, but I do remember there was one point where I was really, really sick. I think I had like the flu or something. But it was also like, I was like restless while sick, so like I felt like crap. But I also didn't want to lie down for the day. And I remember that was like the first time I just like, I played, I think like I went 13 hours straight of playing Portal 2. And I just really wanted to play the game. I think it was the first time I'd played it like fully, and I just was dying to play it. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Like I can't do anything that requires like movement and stuff because I felt like awful. But I was like, I'm not lying down all day. I can't. Like I can't do it. So I just sat at my computer and for like 13 hours just played Portal 2. It was like I remember by the end it was like. It was really fun, even though I was so sick the whole time. It was really fun. I started with Cyberpunk 2077. I have this game since the beginning, but on PS4 it was unplayable. Oh, interesting. I did hear there was like a lot of like, that was kind of a problem with the Cyberpunk launch, wasn't it? There was a lot of like glitches and things where people felt like it just wasn't finessed fully, I guess. After that, it'll be Horizon Forbidden West. Oh my gosh, that must be amazing on the PS5. The Horizon games just look so beautiful. Have they made a art book for it yet? Are they gonna make one? They made one for the first one. Sorry, I'm totally like steamrolling off of this now. I'm just, you reminded me. I have the first one. I have Horizon Zero Dawn art books. They better freaking make one for the new game. Forbidden West art book. Come on, give me. Okay, it's on pre-order. Good, they're making one. Okay, guys, we're good. This is important. We have the first one. When does it come out? In November. Oh, interesting. I'm surprised it's so late from when the game launched. Usually they launch around the same time as the content. But that's okay. Maybe that means even more beautiful. Yay. Okay, good. We'll have one to match. I just remember, like, the Horizon Zero Dawn art book is so beautiful. It's one of those, like, showstopper art books. Zach was kind enough to get me that one. So I'm just like, I really want the second one. I haven't even played the games yet, and I'm like, but I must. Glitches over glitches, and on top of that, bad performance on the PS4. Oh, that sucks. Now it has A, many updates, and B, the better hardware, so Cyberpunk runs quite well. Oh, that's good. It shouldn't have come out for PS4 at all. Trying to get it on that old system just caused problems. It's mostly unplayable. It makes sense, because I feel like, wasn't that the time when people were scrambling to try and get, like, the 3080s? I mean, people were scrambling to get those anyways, the graphics cards, but a ton of people, weren't they, like, specifically hunting for those upgrades for Cyberpunk? Like, even the computers needed, like, everyone was saying that your computer would need to have the beefiest graphics card to play it correctly. So that's fair. Like, trying to put it on console too is even hard. Like, the PCs can be buffed. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn is one of my favorites. It looks so good. If I get the chance, and if I get the chance at some point to do another, like, campaign game, I really want to play it. I really do. I've also had Cyberpunk. I bit my tongue. I've also had Cyberpunk since launch, and I still haven't played it. Like, at all? Wait, I'm just curious. Like, when you bought it, did you buy it at launch? And then just were like, eh. Because don't get me wrong, I bought games I haven't played. But, like, usually, like, if it's at launch, I get it right when I buy it. I start playing a little bit. Might not play it again, but... The only experience I have with Horizon Zero Dawn is watching my friend play it and play it as Aloy in Genshin. Okay, but to be fair, I fully felt like I've played some levels of Last of Us, but I believe in my heart, no I don't, it felt like at the time that I had played the entire game because I sat there with my friend as he got it like right when it came out. And we were in university, we were roommates, and I literally like sat there with him for like the weekend, 2 days straight of just like right beside him watching him play, and like he was fine to like let me give inputs if he needed them, being like, oh, like there's something over there, like blah, blah, like, and being like, oh, you know, you could go this way. Like we were fine, we were kind of like doing that, but like he played the whole game, but I sat there being like, I've definitely played this game. I've been along for the whole ride, I didn't miss a moment, I've clearly technically played the game, even though I didn't really. Horizon Zero Dawn, when I got it, I played about 12 days in a row. Damn, with 8 hours per day to finish everything. Oh, that's a good campaign length, though. 12 days straight, 8 hours per day, like, that's a good amount. Like I just said, Last of Us was 2 days. It was done. During those 12 days, I had to work, of course, so it was 10 hours work, 8 hours gaming, maybe 4 hours sleep. I can't even say anything. I have done that with when new books have come out. Now, admittedly, they're easier to finish. They don't take 12 days, so I've never had it be 12 days straight. But I've done that. I've been like, do I need sleep? I don't think I need sleep. I think I'd be fine without sleep. Let's just keep reading. My brother gave it to me as an early Christmas present. Oh, okay, that makes sense, that makes sense. I installed it and then heard from people, your character creation is final, you can't change it later, which made my indecisive but anxious, so I went, I need to start this when I have enough time. Alright, that's totally fair. I can easily see that happening. I feel that right now about, like, for instance, like, I would love to, like, do more, thank you very much for the follow, I'd love to do more, game streams, like, incorporate them. But on my head, it's easier to do games that are like, you pick up random levels, like things like, well, like when we do Destiny, things like Portal was easy to do with Mel, if we played like Left 4 Dead or something, like ones that are easier like that, only because if I wanted to do them with campaign as well, I'd want to sit down and like do it back-to-back streams. And I just can't really like afford that right now, but I'm like, one day, the campaign games will happen. I want to explore everything, every side quest, and I play on hard mode. Damn! So usually use longer than normal time. That's good, though. I don't know if I always start on hard. Games that I've replayed, definitely. I'll go back and be like, I can definitely... You can tell if you can handle hard or not. But I feel like when it's a brand new game and I have no idea what I'm doing, I think I just start on default, which is usually like normal or something. Just jumping into hard, though. That's good. I don't think I have the confidence. Okay, I'm gonna try and work on this section. It needs something. It's just not good enough. I think I'm gonna mix this guy. With some of my gouache paint. I think that would work. Oh, Vladdy. Actually, I won't. I don't have the. So we don't have a date yet, but I am actually. I'm working kind of in the background to plan out some gaming streams. I think I want to do. Speaking of campaigns, I think I would like to do some campaigns with Mel, and then we could just have it be like our own ongoing one. So those would probably be incorporated for like Sundays and stuff. So they might not be every Sunday or anything. But we're hoping to kind of set that up because we really enjoyed Portal. I think we both kind of like, sometimes it's nice to have the gaming. Like, we both like gaming, but we're both of those people that's like, we just don't have the time. So it'd be kind of a fun excuse to be like, all right, well, we get to do it now. Any brand new game, if there is a casual, normal, hard, extreme, I go for hard in the first run, extreme in the second. Don't know, like to punish myself. If it's only like easy, medium, hard, or easy, normal, hard, will you still just always do hard? Just because, like, you don't care that it's the hardest mode? Yeah, you'd be down to see it. That's good to know that you'd be down to see it though, Vladdy. I appreciate that. Cause yeah, I know it's one of those things kind of sad. Like, I'm very aware that like I used to game a lot more when I was younger, and so you realize it's the whole like you realize you had so much more time when you were younger. It's like, damn it, I was so much more well versed with games. Now I just like most of the ones I'm aware of is because I watch them on like and they're on the background while I'm doing like editing and stuff. But it's not the same, you know. Some games, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of games I actually will like stand up for. They're really enjoyable just to watch sometimes. Like I've had many games that I've only know because I watched a friend play. And that can be really fun on its own, but it's its own experience. It's not the same as like playing, you know. And it'll be hard. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I want the games to last a bit. Normal will be too fast. That's a good point, honestly, because like that is true. Like, especially if you are someone who enjoys like the binging, which like I totally get. I'm that person who like dives in. Like, if it's good, a good game, a good like book series, whatever. Like, I'm all in. Like, all my free time is consumed by being like, I just want to read it. I just want to play it. Like. So I know what you mean, that it's like, then if it's a game where it's like, if you were to do that, you'd be done in 2 days. It's like, oh. I want a little bit more out of it. Portal was amazing. Oh, you enjoyed it? I loved how the game made you think. Oh, dude, Portal's so fun, too. There's some amazing moments from that where I was just like, I love us. Like, Mel figured out a lot of puzzles, so it wasn't, but I really was giggling during the one where it's like, I don't really care that you're doing, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm eating, so you can do whatever you want. And it was just like all the different ways, like, she thought to solve it. I'm just like sitting there watching, being like, I like this. I like seeing how the brain works. It's so fun. Ask her your cat about portals. This is gonna be interesting. But like, not only do you have the free time when you're young, right? But you also have the little outside of that to worry about. I know, it's like, it's so funny. I'm pretty sure we all experienced it. All the adults when you were younger tell you, like, oh my god, enjoy it now. You get that like little speech all the time. And I remember it was a mix of, like, I didn't not take it seriously, but at the same time, like, you just can't fathom what it actually means. Like, you sit there and feel like, okay, yeah, like, I'm not gonna have this kind of free time later. Like, okay, that makes sense. Oh, I'm gonna have a job one day. Like, say you're still in, like, you know, like, young high school or in your elementary school, so you maybe haven't started a job yet, or you babysit or have, like, a paper route. And so, like, you kind of get this, like, abstract idea of what it means to be like, oh, it's gonna be, like, different when you're older. You're not gonna have this time or whatever. And you're like, okay. And now, looking back on it, it's really like, God, it was so, like, it wasn't easier in the sense, like, there's its own struggles when you're growing up, absolutely. But it's just kind of, like, the overall existence of, like, time management and stuff is, like, oh my God, that was so much easier. There was, like, times you just had nothing to do. That shit doesn't exist anymore. Like... I missed that. Meanwhile, I play on easy because I suck at games, and I'm usually mostly there for the story. No, but that's the thing. Like, I never understood the people who, like, shame, like, if someone just games that way. Like, don't get me wrong, the hardcore gamers who, like, go all in, hardcore mode, like, who love Dark Souls, like, that kind of mentality, totally valid, amazing. But, like, I've never understood people who outright are, like, against people who are like, I just play for fun. Like, the people who are like, I just load into Minecraft and punch stuff. Like, they're just there for the experience. Like, they don't care. They just want the fun. 3 stages of life. Enough energy and time, but no money. Enough energy and money, but no time. Enough time and money, but no energy. It's, oh my god, it's like the triangle we learned when we were in, I think a lot of people learn this in their careers, but I learned it when I was in my special effects program, and it was the triangle that was, it's quality, time, cost. And they told us, they're like, you can have 2, but you will never have all 3. And it was literally like the idea being that if you want high quality and fast, it's gonna cost you. If you want cheap and high quality, it's gonna take a long ass time. If you want cheap and fast, quality's gonna suck. Like, it was just so interesting being like, you can always have 2, but you can never have all 3. Like, that's basically that. Like, oh yeah, I know, you can, different parts of life, you can have some of it, not all of it. That's not on the table for you. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, I'm sure many careers have used it. That was the first time I learned it, was in my special effects program. And it made perfect sense in the concept of, like, especially, like, we were talking about, like, prop building or, like, doing prosthetic work and stuff, right? So it's like, it made perfect sense that it's like, yeah, you want a really high quality prop for your movie or something. It's like, you're gonna, if you want that fast, you're gonna frickin' pay. Or you're gonna try and be cheap about it, it's gonna take forever. Like, that's just how it is. Rush fees are a real thing. Oh, Schrodinger's cat. I can't give the full backstory. I'd have to look it up again. But the idea being, I believe it was a scientific philosopher who was giving the idea that if you, like, put a cat in a box and, like, sealed the box, you cannot know for certain if the cat is alive or dead until you open the box. So their concept for that, like Schrodinger's cat, the concept is meant to be like, in their mind, I guess, it was technically the cat exists in a state of both alive and dead until you confirm one way or the other. So even though you can pretty much guess, like, if you didn't feed the cat and based on, like, no air holes and stuff, and based on biology, you could probably, like, be pretty sure about what state it's in. But the idea was, like, this, like, philosophical question of, like, you cannot know for certain until you make the the decision to open the box and confirm one way or another. Is that what it was? Was an example of quantum physics? Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't remember the origins of it, and I was only trying to think. I know I took scientific philosophy in university, so I was like, is that when I first learned it? I didn't take physics, because I was like, I hated physics, but Schrodinger's cat's a pretty common thing to learn about, so could have been any of my biology or chem courses. You can explain it in your Schrodinger centipede example. Ugh. I hate that. See, but I can't know. Like, I feel like there's a biology side to the cat one where it's like you can kind of know if it's alive or dead. Based on basic biology. Have you fed the cat? No, it's probably dead. Like, the centipede really could be alive. Or dead. I don't know. Her painting kind of reminds me of a sun eruption. Ooh, or crushing galaxies. I love that. Thank you. And then take the options with a portal gun and imagine what would happen, which options you get with the cat. As long as I don't turn around, my bed is both messy and cleaned up. Yes. Just close your eyes. Everything will be cleaned up then. Not to be confused with Pavlov's dog. Again, that one I didn't study. That one I think I've learned through, like, TV. But that one is more based on the idea of, like, repetitive, like, ingrained nature would be the idea, with how, like, the ring the bell and stuff. What becomes, like, second nature to someone. Another thing I love about Portal is just how creative, smart the level design. Honestly, like I was saying, what I was most impressed by is you realize, like, they're really, they found a way that there's really only one way to do, as far as I can tell, like, they've honestly made every level be like, there's one right answer. Which I think is amazing, because you'd think, like, it'd take any level of not seeing all aspects of how someone could use the level to be like, oh, there could be multiple ways, right? Someone could just figure out, like, oh, I could do this and this. And they've pretty much made it, like, pretty succinct that it's like, nope, this is all you get. Like, you get one option and you need to figure it out. Conditioning, that was the word. Thank you. Basically, he rung a bell when the dog was about to be fed. Through time, the dog associated the sound of the bell with the food, so he started salivating just at the sound of the bell. Yes. Conditioning was the word I couldn't think of. Thank you very much. I guess IRL I would totally mess up with a portal gun. I would always guess wrong and kill myself within the first day. I feel like especially the levels where the levels where you have to, like, change out where the portals are as you, like, jump high or something and move them, and if you do it wrong you just, like, land on the ground. It's like, yeah, in the game you have, like, the lovely jumper legs or your Atlas and Peabody, which you can't really take that damage, so it's fine. But I'm like, in real life it'd just be like, I'm gonna do this amazing thing. I just splatted myself. That's cool. Great. My brain is so confused. Today felt so Sunday-y. I keep thinking tomorrow will be Monday. I always I will say, if I have to mess up my days, I love when it's that way. Because in your own brain, you've just gained a day. Which is, like, wonderful. It's the worst when it's the other way, though, where you think, like, oh, I think it's Friday. It's not Friday. It's Saturday. Like, because then it's just, your brain just convinces you that it's just like, oh, you've lost an entire day. How? Don't know, but you did. Tomorrow's Monday. It is Sunday here already. I mean, technically here too, but it's not the next day until I've slept. I feel that way. Yeah, I agree with that. First meal of the day is breakfast, no matter if it's 6 p.m. or later. I mean, you are only breaking your fast. Doesn't matter when the fast was. Technically. I have breakfast, afternoon regularly. I love it. Okay, what? A little bit of work here. Oh, was that my first gaming stream? We've played different games on here. I've had some Destiny streams before. We've done both Little Nightmares games. We did Grist before. I've done tons of Overcooked games, Gang Beasts. We obviously did Portal together. Done a few different games. We did Among Us a while back. I haven't done big campaign games on here, just because, like I said, it's that I'd want to back-to-back them. I usually do them as, like, kind of one-off games. But, like, we've had some, like, long Destiny streams. Like, I'm pretty sure when we did the blind raid when the Deepstone Crypt came out, and we was, like, an 8-hour stream. It was, like, 8 hours straight of just... It might have been longer, because I feel like our gaming... I think our thing was, like, 8 hours straight, and we played before that, like, for a few hours. So I think it was, like, a 10-hour stream. It's so funny, you know how when... Oh, and I used to do Rainbow Six Siege streams, but I kind of stopped playing that game. You know, and how you wet entire watercolors, they kind of shrink over time. The Caleros sort of do, but it's less noticeable because you tend to start using them from the center. So they don't get used up around the edges first. Well, the new shape of the bling colors, I noticed the shrinkage after the first use. They look sort of funny, really? Usually I get told off for not eating until late. Now I love it. Neat. Well, I'm believing in that regard that you sleep in on those days. So, yeah, I don't think it's good if you don't eat, like, for hours and hours after being awake. If you're waking up at, like, you know, 4 p.m. and then you eat at 5, I don't think that's that weird. But if you've woken up at, like, 8 a.m. and not eating until 5, then yes, you should be shamed for not taking care of yourself, Mina. Hi, Raven! How are you doing? It's good to see you. I just looked at your last paintings on Instagram and they immediately reminded me of something. Will I show you a picture? Yeah, for sure. Oh, if you have a link, let me know. I'll give you a permit. Just because I don't want Nightbot to get angry at you. But absolutely, we can give you a permit. And then you can post. Just let us know when you have the link ready. And I need your zodiac sign for it. Oh, I'm a Pisces. Though I don't at all identify with Pisces. I fill out 0 requirements of Pisces. But I do like that I'm a fishy, so. I like to swim. I guess I fill out that side of it. The worst I've done was having breakfast at 1 a.m. the next day. Oh. I haven't slept in much in a while. I'm great, thank you. Excellent. Turns out I might be ace flux, which basically means I have a fluxation on sexual attraction. That's so cool, but I never actually want a sexual experience with someone. Now, obviously, I'm not confirming it as it's something I need to process and take. Of course, absolutely. That's totally like your own journey to, like, you know, no one should push you along in it or anything. It could just be the final piece to my discovery of my identity. Oh, Raven, that's amazing. So happy for you. That's really freaking awesome. It's hard to, you know, come to those kinds of conclusions, but it's huge. Oh, thank you. Mina gave you a permit, so you're good to post. Thank you, Mina. You are the best. That's so pretty. I love that it, like, glows. It looks so cool. I love Trying my best. Sometimes. I wouldn't expect you're like 100% all the time, Mina. That'd be crazy. I actually, you know what's funny? As much as we're doing all these series, probably gonna move into the next series after this. Although I'm probably gonna try and catch up on all like the commissions and the Moon Knight series once I can get back to doing pencil. But I want to get back to the paintings as well, the like canvas paintings. But the next watercolor series will probably be, I've been wanting to do for a while. I want to do the Zodiac series. I think it'd be really fun. I want to do that for a while. I'm trans and pan, and I've been known as that for a long time, but recently I had experience in sexual context, and it didn't have the same effect that you'd think others would have. I'm watching a video on someone who is aro ace. It made me realize, oh wow, maybe I'm just meant to be romantic, not sexual, and I'm fully proud of that. Oh, that's amazing! We have quite a few people who are ace in our community, Raven. So if you ever want to, I know a lot of them are more than happy to ever like chat out stuff if you ever need someone to talk to. But yeah, that's amazing. No, honestly, it's a huge journey. Seriously, it's a huge journey, but I'm so freaking happy for you. I had a private group dining today and run overtime. Glad to catch a bit before I gotta head to bed though. Oh, of course, no worries, Kupari. I hope your day's been good though. Yeah. See, I was gonna say, I know some people who would be more than happy to help. I'm not gonna volunteer anyone, but yeah, we have quite a few in the community. They're awesome. Also, an A Spectrum being here. Oh, there's 2 of our mods then. Absolutely awesome. Well, we're doing the pan one right now. We did buy yesterday. We did the buy flag yesterday. I'm gonna try and I want to do ace next. I just have to figure out the best way to incorporate like black. Cause don't get me wrong, like, obviously the cheat is just which is fine. That might be the best way to do it, but I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I can incorporate black a little bit more like obviously for them. Cause there's a lot of flags that have black in them. So I just want to make sure that I can like make sure like, God. I hate when I just start saying the same words over and over again in a sentence, as if like, just trying to get my point across is an absolute mess. But yeah, I want to try and make it so it's obvious that that's a part of the painting, so it's not just like, oh, these colors without the important part of the black. So I do abstract photography editing. Oh, that sounds so cool. Both in the sense of I'm not a good photographer, and I can't edit for crap. So there's 2 things that I can't do anything in, and that must be amazing. Have a good one, Morokai. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. I'm still very much figuring things out, and I'm not a fan of fully labeling myself. No, I agree. I get that. Don't mind labels for others whatsoever. I just don't feel right with any of them at the moment. That's why I say a spectrum, because that's the only thing I'm pretty much certain about. I totally get that. 100%. Woo, 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 woo. Have a good one, Morokai. Should I link for one of the pieces I made? Oh yes, just let us get you a permit first, Raven. I just don't want Nightbot will get mad at you if you post without it. Thank you, Mina. Yes, so there is a permit for the next 60 seconds, Raven. You are good to post. If 60 seconds passes, just ask for another permit. Or else again, Nightbot will get mad. But please, feel free to share with us. Nightbot will go. It would be mad. It would be very, very mad. Not a happy camper. Hi, Elle. How are you doing? It's good to see you. How's your day been so far? Nightbot can be a bit sassy sometimes. Oh, where is it posted, Raven? You probably need another permit at this point. I think we're past 60 seconds. I'm okay. Oh, I got COVID. Elle, I'm so sorry to hear that. And it's been like 4 days with it. Crap. I hope it's not too brutal. I've had some of my friends have had like it's rocked them. Like it's been really, really awful. I hope it's been I hope you're beating it and kicking its butt. Oh, hi Husky. How are you? It's good to see you. Not too bad. It's been busy, but not like it's just been a little hectic, but it's been good. It's been good. I think I definitely need tomorrow to catch up on a lot of stuff. I think it's because like Wednesday was my day of like, oh, I have all this stuff to do, and then the surprise visit from electrical to turn off all our power and stuff was a fun surprise. So I think everything's moved, and I kept saying like the last on Friday yesterday I was like, oh, before stream, but then all this stuff had to get done, and then it was just stream time. And then today I was like, oh, like maybe I'll get some stuff done before stream, but then we had all these errands to run, so it was just like I was already late to stream, and I'm like, all right, at some point I have to catch up with this stuff. I'm very behind. A lot of the people at my church I go to got it too. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry for you and your community. That's really rough. I hope everyone beats it good. I hope no one has like long COVID or anything. I really hope that it's just something that everyone can kind of like beat and move forward from, because that's rough. It's hot here in Colorado. I went on a 3-mile walk in this heat. Ooh. But what is it? What are you guys at right now? Like in the 90s? I remember when we went to years ago, we went to Vegas, and we went. My sister and a few other people wanted to walk to like a little like dispensary store, and so we're like, yeah, sure, let's go. Like, and like we walk everywhere when we're on vacation, so we thought nothing of it. But oh my god, like Vegas, like obviously so hot, right? And it's like being like, I always said that the best way to describe it, when you walk out from like an air-conditioned building into the heat, it was always like that exact feeling when you like open an oven and you know when you get that rush of heat. It's like that, but it stays. Like it doesn't dissipate like it does from the oven. It just stays on that mode of like you got like the oven air at you. And so I feel like I'm just like walking around in that. I was jumping from like tree to tree trying to like shade hop because it was so warm. Excellent. Yes, join the Discord. Welcome, welcome. Oh. Hi, Big. How are you doing? Good to see you. It's 96 now. Oh, yeah, that's a little warm. I'm missing our Pride Festival in town because of this. Oh, Elle, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. I really hope you're able to, like, to beat it quickly. Share the link. Mina, if you're still just lurking, if you could do a permit. If not, I will do it, no worries, but just if you're here. If you're hanging out. Thank you, Mina. Permit has been given, Raven, so you're good to post. You may proceed. Me too? Yeah, I hope so. Ooh, I love that. Wait, what was the original photograph for that? I kind of love it because like it makes me think of like a tiger. Like those little like moments of like the pink patterns made me think of like tiger stripes. Love that. I feel like I can see like a window sill or something, but that's about it. That's so cool. I love the composition. The little blue like curve that almost brings it back to itself and reconnects it is such a nice touch. That like makes the whole piece have this like flow, which I really, really like. Is the inside of my car window? Ah, so there was a window. So I knew there was an edge of a window. I just couldn't tell anything else. I got a little part of it figured out. Bit. I'm trying to mix two colors together to get a tone that's hopefully like knocked back a bit more, but still stands out. What I'm trying to counteract right now is how like these edges are really kind of harsh. They just kind of like end and there's no like softer tones. So that's what I'm trying to get by mixing a bit of the gouache paint with the pearl color. Don't know if it'll work, but hopefully it will. Don't know until we try. Legit, whatever you first think of is what it is. I like to give all the viewers a chance to make their own choice by trying to think of what it could have been really just. I like that. I like that a lot. They usually never say what the actual reference was. That's smart. I mean, I always said, like, I'm not smart enough to do abstract. I think there's a level of intention in abstract art that I feel like I've never mastered. That's why I did really bad in school. They wanted really conceptual pieces, and I was always just like, I just want to paint things that are pretty. And that's the extent of it. They don't like that very much. They want a reason. Makes us all become that cute community within my art. I love that. Helps a little bit more, I think. We'll see how this dries down, because the gouache on its own dries to this, so which you can barely see. So I'm trying to mix it with the pink to see if I can get an in-between of like still being further back and not as noticeable, but standing out more than like black. 'Cause black ain't helping me. Aw, thanks, Raven. That's so nice of you. work with what I got. Getting tired, I need to add something to the triangle from before. I feel like I'm in a special stage. No time, no money, no energy. You don't get any of it. To be fair, relatable. I think that's a completely fair state to exist in. So how long have you been doing this style for, and was always a style you loved, or did you originally start with something completely different? Oh yeah, completely different. So my first style in like, especially into like actually trying to in any way attempt this as a business was these guys. This is colored pencil. Now this is a print. So these are, but this was my colored pencil work when I started selling at like conventions and stuff. So I was working in this style. So I loved adding like rainbow elements to all of them. These like doodle style, things like that. So I pretty much worked in this for a long time, which you can see a lot of them are the prints that are on my shop still. But this is like where I started. And then I also did a lot of like realistic graphite. So something more similar to like whatever now. Moon Knight is kind of the idea. So like I still love working in this style. So more real, like trying to do more realism. I do a lot of like we did the barn owl a little while back. You'll find more of these under the original section on my site. So usually when I work in graphite, I go for realism. I can't do hyper realism or anything, but so that style. And then when I got into watercolor, I was doing kind of similar to like my colored pencil work, like some like landscaping and different things like that. But it's only with the black watercolors that I started doing this kind of style, the galaxy, the flowy. It's the one medium right now where I really enjoy like letting the paint do a lot of the work. The one other one we're talking about styles. Trying to do more of this. This is a new style that I started this year. And so I want to get back to the canvases. This was the first one we did, and I have a fish as well. This is kind of more of like kind of combining a lot of what I like in all the different mediums. So this like idea of like I love animal portraiture. I love that like a lot of elements in like tattoo art and stuff. So this one's kind of going to combine all of them. Gold leafing because I'm obsessed with that. And then the only other style I currently have on the go is the one I'm doing for my Patreon postcards, which is kind of my animal portraiture, but it's with watercolor. So they're like I'm doing like monochromatic work right now. This is the one for this month that I still have to edit and order to send out. But this is like the other style I guess I'm currently working in. I like a million styles. But these guys are all watercolor as well. But yeah, I've always said it's tricky in a sense of like for instance showing like look at all this stuff. And it feels like so much. Like it's like holy crap, that's a lot. But I would say and I've always said it might be a double-edged sword in regards to if you specialize, it might be easier to market that. Like if I just did these, it might be easier to market myself as like I do galaxy colored paintings, but so there is a side for that where it can be beneficial. But what I've always said, why I really like how I work in like different mediums, different styles, is I don't hit a burnout really, like a lot of artists do. But I think that's because if I was even getting close to a burnout in this style, I'd switch over. you know, and I have all of these other options to switch over to. So it's not like it leaves me very free to move around, and I don't really ever experience the burnouts because I don't get exhausted by a certain medium or a certain style. I kind of can just like jump between what I'm feeling. So it's a double-edged sword. Like, I think on a marketing side for an artist, it's not the best, but on a side of creating and being able to like do more work and get better and keep practicing, it's better for me. So can't do hyperrealism, probably lies. I don't think I can. Like, I've seen hyperrealistic artists and I don't think I get there or even close, but I love seeing them. Hyperrealistic artists, just like, oh, it's so good. At first I thought the last one was Scorpio. Oh, it's Moon Knight. Yeah, I'm doing a Moon Knight series. So that was the first one. It got held up by my car accident because the graphite are a little bit harder to do. But I'm going to get back. We started the second one, and then there is a third one that I still want to do. So the Moon Knight series is 3 originals. They're just taking a while. Yeah, so those ones, like, a lot of my colored pencil ones are more fan art. So, like, that was Haku from Spirited Away. Just, like, redrawn and stuff. But so a lot of them are fan art pieces. So I have, in the more recent years, gotten more to, like, more original work. I still like fan art, but I do a lot more original than I used to do. When I started, I was pretty much just entirely fan art. I need to do an online shop. Yeah, it's a lot to set up a shop, but it's like, it was very worth it. Oh, thank you, Frozen. I'm glad you like the owl. How'd you make... My website is made through Wix, is the website builder. But I know a lot of people who use, like, Shopify, Squarespace. I know a few friends who use that. I think a lot of people say, like, the go-to when you don't know where to start or don't want to, like, you know, it'd be a lot. They'll do, like, Etsy. Although the one thing with Etsy is that the fees are... They just become more and more expensive. Like, Etsy has... Like, I left Etsy because I was sick of the fees, and this was, like, years ago. I've now seen people still talking about how brutal Etsy is for all the fees they put on stuff, so... It's a double-edged sword. It's also rough. Like, I find Etsy can be good when it brings people in. But it's also rough in that, like... But, I mean, you'd have to do this if you're doing a website anyways, is you have to pay a certain amount for, like, a year. Etsy kind of sucks because you have to pay to do listings. So, you might pay to set it up and then never even get a sale, and that kind of sucks. But, is what it is, right? I've been wanting to try that for such a long time. Homepage looks like a classic WordPress setup. No, mine's Wix. WordPress, I don't remember even how to do WordPress. I think I did WordPress way back in the day, but I did it for like a blog. Theo and I use Big Cartel. Big Cartel's another good one. Yes, absolutely. It's kind of like hunting around for like what, like what's a good option for you and what the costs are. Mental! Mental, thank you. Can't stay long, but no worries. Boop you back. Thank you so much for 15 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One of the things for mine, for instance, is like, I have a lot of listings because I have the makeup ones up there too, and I think I have like over 100 and something makeup prints alone. So for me, for instance, like Wix is unlimited. Now it's a higher price point for a lot of people, so I don't have to worry about a certain amount of listings. But that's a big thing for some people. It's also why, like, Etsy would be awful for me. Because I have, like, between all my stuff, I think I probably have, like, over 300 listings. So, like, that would be expensive as hell if I was doing that through Etsy. But it depends. If you weren't that insane, you could definitely go for better cost, more cost-effective options. Etsy gives you range on the one hand, lots of competition on the other hand. If you like this, look here and here, and lots of fees. Yeah. The fees, the reason I got sick of the fees, even before how high they are now, my biggest issue is that they used to do it where at the end of every month, they would send you your Etsy bill. And this is how much you have to pay. And I was like, cool. So it was simple to track how much you're spending every month. And then you could easily compare to, like, have you brought that in? You know, like, how have you done with sales versus what you just paid? But what they started doing was just so freaking sneaky, and I hated it. They started adding in all these extra, they split up the fees, so they're in all these weird spots. And they started making it that, like, if you made a sale, say you sold, like, something for $35, they're now taking their fees randomly throughout the month. So you'll just like, you'll make a sale, but it'll be like, oh, you're actually only going to get like $9 of this sale because we're taking our fees. And you sit there and go like, well, what are the fees? Because they're like, they didn't break it down properly anymore. I don't know if they fixed that. At the time, they didn't. There was no proper breakdown of where those fees were. They just like showed them as like, here, you lost money. And I was like, okay. And then like, if you had another sale later in the month, they'd take more. And they're like, well, these are other fees. And it was just kind of like, like, I cannot keep track of what money you're taking or why you're taking it. So like, no. I'd rather have like a year-long, like, this is how much I'm paying for my website. Of course, no worries, Raven. Have a fantastic rest of your day and have a good weekend. Variety is the spice of life. It really is. Specializing is cool, but being a jack of all trades while still being good AF is so much cooler to me. Less common to find people like that. Oh, thanks. Yeah, like I do know that I always want to warn people because I am a testament to, I've been doing it for years and I'm still very much on my journey, and that's totally fine. But like people who want to, you know, make it or get there, I wouldn't recommend this path, if that makes sense, because it's much slower. So if you want to like get out there and like push your brand and stuff, like you kind of want to have a style that to push, if that makes sense, because then you can kind of like, it'd be the symbol of like if you thought of a certain style in your head, or think of an artist name, and you just like one thing comes to mind, like. You can go to the classics, go to like Jackson Pollock, go to Dali, go to Picasso. One style is coming to mind. And so that's a really, that's an easy way to start marketing, is like if you just pound it into someone of like, this is the style. Like, so if you have multiple styles or multiple mediums, people don't really have that association with you. And so it's harder to build, not your reputation, but to build your presence and like online impact kind of thing. So it's like, I always want to make sure I just caution people on that one. Etsy very recently raised their expenses for sellers too, even though they were making bank during these pandemic times, right? Real BS. I'm always amazed. I mean, I shouldn't be. That's capitalism for you. But I'm always kind of amazed when the companies that are like, the better they do, the more they're like, oh, we need to be even cheaper. We need to offer even less. We need to take even more. Like, and it's just the epitome of like, you're like, but you're doing the best you've ever done. Like like, why is this the time that you're like, oh my god, okay, now we take more. Hi Todd, how are you doing? It's good to see you. I have the cheapest space thingy for Big Cartel, but I'm limited to 50 spaces, and I'm kind of running out of spaces. That's why I started removing things I personally don't like as much anymore. Yeah, absolutely. And then that's the other thing too, like if that was, I'm not saying it's for you, for specifically Mina, but again, like that's a good idea. Like if you wanted to set up like a brand like that, like maybe the idea is that your stuff is more limited, your stuff is more exclusive. Something like something like that lowest tier with like only 50 listings is actually really great, because it means that it's always going to keep you accountable to like, you're not going to have all these options. You're going to constantly change out, and you're going to make these things limited. And like, if you want it, you have to get it now, or else it's never coming back. Like stuff like that can be really, really good. It just depends, again, like how good you are at marketing, I guess. I'm not as proud of it anymore. One day I'll get the higher margin, which is still not that crazy expensive. I just can't afford it at the moment, but then I'd have 250 space. It's quite a jump at least. I mean, that's pretty good. It's because Etsy is traded on NASDAQ? I don't know what that is. So now it's legally required to make shareholders richer. I don't know what that is. Alright, what was I doing? It doesn't matter anymore. Oh, I was working right over here. Kevin, thank you so much for 11 months. Thank you, thank you. How are you doing? So I've been around, but no worries at all. I was off of work for 2 weeks. My friend planned a motorcycle trip. Oh, I hope it was fun. And no worry, I know you're really busy. I totally understand, Kevin. I hope you never feel bad about not being able to make streams. You have a very busy job. NASDAQ is one of the big 3 stock things in the US, along with COW Jones and S&P 500. Oh, okay, interesting. Shares and shareholder value and so on. Because it's all about the money. I should try more traditional things again. The process is so satisfying, right? That's what I will say. As much as I don't have time for it, so I never did it, but I loved when like the adult coloring book was like a trend. I mean, they still exist; they're still a thing. But there was like, you know, when they were the craze, like that was the thing. Was the coloring books. I kind of loved it because I remember thinking, I was like, this is a really great way for people who probably do have a very creative side, but feel like they can't sit down and do art, so they don't sit down at all. But like it can be so soothing. Like you can just like zone out while doing stuff like that. So I actually loved when like that was the thing when it started, because it was like, this is so great for people who just, you know, they just want to create, but they maybe don't even want to be on the side. Like they're not trying to pursue being an artist or anything. They just want to, you know, they want that enjoyment of it. And I was like, yes. I love this. More. My mom got one of those for Mother's Day, right? Like, it's just, they're great. Like, it's the same with, I love that they made a comeback. But it's same with, like, Paint by Numbers. I love that one as a kid. I loved those. Those are so satisfying. I also really loved, the ones where you hook and looped made, rugs. So you individually put in all the yarn in, like, the right color spots, and then you made, like, a rug of some kind. And I know the more common ones nowadays, like, the diamond paintings and stuff. I love that stuff because I think it's so great for people who are like, yeah, they just want that. They want the soothing and like zone out and like screw the world around you for a moment, like aspect of like doing art, but they don't have to feel like they have to sit down and make like a masterpiece. It's just like, no, just enjoy the process. Trip was all right, although I sustained head injuries. Oh my god, and hand injuries. Oh my god. It was all right, but then almost died on the way home. Oh my god, Kevin, was there an accident? That's terrifying. Digital, I would just slap down some color and adjustment layer and blur it. That's more than I can do, alright? I can't do crap in digital. Can't do anything. I am useless with digital. I think this is pretty good. I don't want to... I think I'm gonna dry this because I think I might be at the point for stars. I think I might actually be a good place with it. Let's see. It's relaxing. I love painting or drawing with my nephews. Oh, it's bright. It's just so great. I'm always it's, you know, it's very similar to, I find like, and it's so great on Twitch to talk about this because it's so applicable. But you know how like there's people that feel like they can't game because they're not gamers, because they're not like these like epic like FPS shooters, they're not these epic players, they just want to sit down and game, and they feel like they would never call themselves a gamer, they would never tell people because there's this idea that like you have to be amazing. Like if you even say you game, they're like, all right, give me your stats, like what's your level, like prove to me right now that you're actually like good at what you say, like this. And so I feel like that kind of exists with art sometimes. Like people think if they're gonna do art, it has to be like, okay, you're doing art, it better be amazing. Show me what you do. It better be perfect, okay? It better, like, it needs to be, like, museum quality, or, like, why are you even saying you do art? Like, and I hate that, because it's like, no, like, you should be, in the exact same way, you should be able to just game and do whatever the hell you want. It has, not, like, just for fun, 100% exists for art. Just, like, you should be able to just sit down and do whatever the hell you want. It's not all about, like, the end result. Diamond painting is so anxiety driving for me with all the little parts. It looks interesting, I gotta admit. There damn near was one. I have videos. The Ford Explorer was making a lane change and wasn't paying attention. Nearly hit my nose. Oh my god. I swerved into the grass to avoid getting hit, but thought I was going to roll Sandy over in the process. Oh my gosh. Were you on a bike for this, or were you in like a truck or a car? Can't do crap in digital yet. Vladdy, you and Mondo are gonna like ensure that one day I can do digital. And you know what? I'm not even gonna sit there and say like it can't happen, because I felt the exact same way about watercolor for the longest time. Everyone was like, people in chat were so great about saying like, try watercolor, like give it a shot. And I was like, dude, I freaking hated watercolor when I tried it that one time in grade 10. And then fully had to like, you know, like foot and mouth, love watercolors, so I can't even say for sure. Farmville grandmas are gamers too. The head injury happened because I misjudged my height and slammed my head into a cave. Ah! Oh my god. That's terrifying. My mother loves diamond painting and puzzles. I can't get into diamond paintings, but I love puzzles too. Yes. Oh my god. Actually, I should plan that for a stream in the future. We did a puzzle stream a while back, and I made a chameleon that I actually glued down because I wanted to keep it. I want to like hang it up somewhere. I forget where. But I also got like a butterfly one that I don't want to like glue, so I just want to do it. And it's like it's the ones with like you guys. I don't know if you guys ever saw I would say commercials, the ads that were all over like Instagram and stuff. The ones where it's like the pieces are like other animal creatures and stuff. So it's like really confusing. I love those ones. So I got that. I want to do that at some point. And then I also really want to get, I've more and more I've talked about in past streams. I've talked about it in the past few streams. I really want to get these little like Book Nook miniatures. They're like these little things that you build and they end up sitting in your bookshelf and they like light up, have moving parts and stuff, but they look so intricate to build. And I'm like, I really want to feed that side of myself that desperately wants to do something stupidly intricate and like miniature building. Like, I want to feed that part of me. I don't do motorcycles. Sandy is a 2003 Karamanzi, so mid-size SUV. Oh, okay. God, and you got a head